Hey, hello there. It's Terry Bontemps, and I want to talk to you guys today about something that's really special to my heart, something from that's come my way from buying notes, and it kind of was a surprise. But what I'd like to do is share, again, something that's happened as far as me affecting not only my community, but communities all over the United States. And basically what I'm going to call this is the secrets to cashing in on the foreclosure crises, and then at the same time helping your community. What we're going to be talking about here is how to help homeowners in foreclosure keep their homes. And I've been doing that since 1999. I want to call this my model because this is truly buying notes at its best and helping homeowners in foreclosure keep their home. This property happened to be in Las Vegas. The bank that I was working with actually sent me a list. I kind of picked this one out. I don't know why I picked it out. I just picked it out. And I want to tell you a little bit about this guy's name is Earl Harrison. Earl Harrison, when I met him, he was recently divorced. He was dealing with family law court, and I'll talk about that on the on one of the future slides. He was $42,000 behind on his first mortgage. He was $6,000 behind on his second mortgage. Now, the thing of it is, I didn't know when I bought his note that he was $42,000 behind, so it was a big surprise. He wasn't all at $42,000 at one time. It graduated to that amount over some time. I wish I could remember how long it was, but you know, it wasn't just right now $42,000 is due. He had an IRS wages garnishment. He had an unreliable automobile to get to work, and his house needed repairs. He had no equity in his home, and he couldn't pay a realtor to sell his home. You know, that is what's happening in today's economic crisis. A lot of people have been hurt real bad, and it really surprises me when I look back on this note deal that I did, how relevant it is to today's market. So in this situation, this property, the only thing I see happening to it was it going to foreclosure. If I wouldn't have stepped in to buy his note and another note buyer bought it, I don't think this note buyer, the new note buyer, would have treated him the way I did. So I don't think a realtor would have been able to save his house because, again, they weren't making a commission, and I don't think they would have done some of the things that I've done. So again, this is a situation that, you know, is happening every day, and how you, me, anybody that buys notes can kind of change the flow of more people losing their house to foreclosure. I lost my house to foreclosure, and I went through the process. I know what it's like. I mean, it was like I laid on the couch in a fetal position, and I cried and cried and cried because I felt like it let my family down. So I went through that. It made me stronger, but now I've come to realize I have a solution, you know, to stopping some of these foreclosures. Now, it took me a $4,300 initial investment to buy, again, his second note. I also paid $1,800 in attorney's fees, and the reason I paid $1,800 in attorney's fees is because Earl Harrison's wife had been awarded the property, and when they were going through their divorce. And what happened was she had stayed in the house and didn't make some payments, and all of a sudden Earl Harrison goes to court and asks for the house back. So the judge gives him the house back, and by this time I own the note. And so I come to find out, I said, well, Earl, did you get any paperwork stating that you own the house? And he goes, I don't remember. So I went, oh my gosh, I'm starting to think, man, I made a really bad mistake. So what I did, I paid $1,800 to have an attorney tell me who actually owned the house. And it ended up being its community property. Both of them still owned it. All right, and then I had to put $4,400 in repairs. I actually flew down to Las Vegas. I'm a carpenter, and I flew to Las Vegas, and I actually did the work, me and Earl, and I think I hired some other people to do work I don't do, and I actually fixed his house up, and I'm telling you, that was such a gratifying experience. Now, those are the checks that I sent in, and as you see, there's the $42,000 that he was behind, and what happened was I paid the $42,000 to get him caught up. I didn't give it to him. I paid the bank. And lo and behold, I told him, hey, look, we're caught up now. And what I want you to do is start making your normal monthly payments. And he said he could. So I let him stay in his house instead of kicking him out, instead of selling it. Lo and behold, I get a call from the bank, or I get a notice from the bank that he's behind in payments again. So I found out the number was $18,000. So right here, you guys, you can see I put over $61,000 of my own money into his house. What I want to show you is the dumpster. And it's only one dumpster. I showed you a front view or side view, two side views. It's only one dumpster. Look at all the stuff that, came from the house, inside the house, and around the house. And that's normal. When people don't have money to make their payments, things kind of accumulate. You just kind of put it where you can. So again, I bought the dumpster. I helped him load it up. I mean, I got out there and got my hands dirty because I like that type of stuff. And if you take a look, this is the property. And if you look toward the back on the right-hand side, he borrowed $20,000 to have the patio cover put on, the concrete. And if you can see up top, he had the shade screens put on because Las Vegas is extremely hot. So that's what he borrowed $20,000 on, and then he defaulted on that, and that allowed me to go in and buy that second mortgage. Now, take a look at the property. After we cleaned it up, I went in and painted and put new carpet in. It was a beautiful house, and I'll tell you this. He was standing downstairs at one point, and he was looking like he was lost. And I asked him, I said, hey, what's going on, man? He says, you know what, Terry, my house hasn't looked like this since I bought it. And I went, wow. So he was kind of reminiscing when he had first bought the house, how beautiful it was and how he had went through all this turmoil and now was back in an excellent condition. So that was pretty touching for me also. Here's the upstairs view. You can see the upstairs and then leading going downstairs. It was the largest home in this tract. It was definitely a beautiful home. So there's the master bath and the master bedroom. Now, again, I want to let you guys know I paid $70,000, again, for Mr. Harrison to keep his home. Do you guys know of any other investor, any other relative, that would have paid the type of money I did to help him keep his home? And so I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that, I tried to help someone the best I could, even though it didn't turn out exactly the way we thought it would. And some people say, well, would you do it again, Terry? Yes, I would. I would do it again because it was the right thing to do, and I have the skills to make sure I didn't lose my $70,000, okay? And again, I met a friend, and it's really amazing. Even though he didn't make his payments, and I paid that amount of money, I still believe he made me a better person, and he made me look at my business a whole lot deeper than I currently look at it. So, yeah, I would do it again, and I consider him still a friend. If he called me today, I would do everything I could to try and help him out. Again, these are advanced techniques, you guys. The average person or a beginner should not even think about doing what I'm doing here. I'm a proven veteran that's been doing real estate, again, for the last 11 years, dealing with people in foreclosure. I'm just trying to show you some of the experience I have. If you're thinking about investing with me, you can tell I've been through some real tough situations. If you're thinking about learning how to invest, again, who better to teach you? There's the check I finally pulled out of the property. And again, when you look at it, some people say, well, Terry, you put a lot in. I go, yeah, I got a lot out, but there was a lot to this. Let me share some of the other things that happened. I paid a realtor 6% commission to sell this property, and that came out of my proceeds, okay? Because, again, I was the one funding the property. So let's say I sold it for $200,000. I paid a realtor $12,000 of my profit to get the property sold. That's the cost of being in business, and I wanted to get the property sold quickly. Now, as soon as I sold that property, probably about, 3 or 4 months later, the economic crisis hit, the mortgage meltdown, and the person that bought that house, they lost it to foreclosure. So the economy went south, and Las Vegas took a big hit. So I'm kind of glad I got that sold. Now, I also loaned the new buyer $5,000 so that they can pay off some of their debt that they had, and that would allow them to qualify to buy the house. So not only did I help Mr. Harrison, but then I helped this buyer, the new buyer, qualify to get a new loan. Even though they lost the property, here I am helping and helping and helping others also in this process. Again, these are only techniques, you guys, that someone like myself that has mastered the foreclosure business, that's, again, something I can do because I'm an expert at this. So if you're looking, again, for an expert to help guide you through this foreclosure and economic crisis, investing in real estate, I'm your guy. I'm your guy, and I hope that all the case studies that you're looking at gives you different perspectives of what can happen when you buy notes or you invest in notes. All of the notes are all different. You have to be able to analyze them and look at them and treat them all differently. Also, he wrote me a testimonial, and I'm just going to read a little bit over here. It says here, I have only one way to describe the help that Terry Bontemps has done for me, and the word is miraculous. I was at my wit's end of having any idea of what I was going to do about my home. I hadn't been in it for nearly 3 years. When through some legal circumstances, I was court ordered to return my home and try to save it from foreclosure. You see, my ex-wife had been living in the home, and my divorce was not done properly through the court system here in Las Vegas. but that is an entirely different subject. Upon my arrival at home, I had no idea what I was going to do. I filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy and did not go so well either due to other circumstances. Eventually, my bankruptcy was dismissed and the house was again back in foreclosure. There had been a number of sharks, and that is the term I have for them, sharks knocking at his door with proposals and so-called strategies on selling his house to them for practically pennies. He said he happened to open up a letter addressed to his ex-wife and himself, and it was from me. It was from Terry. I do not know to this day what made me call him, but it turned out to be one of the best calls that he had ever made. Terry had a way of making me feel relaxed about my situation. He really has a way of communicating and let you know that you're still in control of your destiny. I explained how the home was returned to me through the courts, and I, above all, wanted to preserve my VA loan. You see, if you default on your VA loan, you're not eligible for a home loan again. And I'll tell you this, you guys, I paid off his loan, so now he can buy another house when he gets himself in a position. So I'm proud of that fact also. This is a beautiful business. Well, it says here, I had thought about selling the home, but truly had no desire to leave the home that he had seen being built from the ground up, and he had some very good memories there. Well, Terry came through for me, and it was unbelievable what he had done for him. You know, in a time like mine, it's good to know that there are really some genuine people out there, and of course, others could not believe that a complete stranger to me could be so kind. But all my trust went into working with Terry, and now I'm as happy as a lark. I am in my home, back on track, and I have Terry Bontemps to thank for all this happiness. I can go on and on with all the other details, but this testimonial will turn out to be a novel. If you find yourself in a similar situation or remotely close to my situation, do not hesitate to put your trust into Terry, because I can guarantee you the results will please you. Wow. That is very touching. I have plenty of testimonials that I work with homeowners that give me this type of testimonial simply because I'm helping them keep their home. I was their lifeline, okay? I helped them when they were down get back on their feet and get back into their house. So there you go, you guys. You know, I hope that touched you as well as this touched me. Every time I tell the story, I seem to, kind of swell up inside. But again, it tells me that I have a tremendous value that I can offer our society, our community. So thanks a lot. I look forward to working with you on the next case study. So have a great day. Talk to you guys later.